How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday, and today I'd like to talk about samurai. Yeah, I'd like to talk about something that took over centuries, and it was this the path of the sword, as they call it. Whether it's in the Gori no Sho, the Book of Five Rings, and I'm rereading as well the Hagakure, the Samurai Code, or the Bushido by Yosho Yamamoto, and all of this is I will read parts of the book in this space of Sundays, and it's very small, the Hagakure, and this version that I'm reading, but it's really worth it. Why is it worth it? And of course, it has to deal with the way of the sword, which is for me it's not separate from the way of the blade, you know. And that's why I take that into consideration and put it together, because it is a path. A spiritual path, a path as a human being, a path as a warrior, and a path of evolution and improvement. But let me give a brief context on this. These principles that the samurai lived by, they were composed of different things. First of all of this happened during rather bellicose time, a time of war, continuous war among clans and fractions, those with the emperor, those against the emperor. And well, a lot of history that I am no historian, but what I have read about, I can tell that they had enough time to develop a great war culture, strategies and warriors, as well as making fantastic weapons, the katanas. We all know those, right? But it took time, it took centuries, and with this war culture also intervened different beliefs and philosophies. For example, one that is local, one that is from Japan, which would be the Shinto, and also Buddhism came into play, and particularly the modality of Zen Buddhism, but also a few ideas of Confucianism and Taoism. And all of this was like put in a blender, and through hundreds of years, until we come about the Bushido, or the code of the samurai. And what is the code of the samurai? it's a blend, it's a mix of all of these fantastic and wonderful philosophies and religions, and mixed with this war culture, this culture of the warriors, and to become something fantastic in my point of view. And why do I mention all of this? Because we have to talk a little bit about the context, and so that we can compare to the context that we are living now, because these are very different contexts. And of course, we cannot talk about obedience as they did. Obedience for them was a primordial value. But let me talk about just a bit, or just mention the 7 most important values for the samurai. The book is in Spanish, and man, I have many. Here we go. The Bushido, or the Code of the Bushido. There are 7 principles that guide the Code of Bushido. Gi, which is honesty or justice in action. Yu, bravery in action. Valor, heroic valor. Jin, compassion or universal love. Rei, courtesy. 5, which would be melio, honor. 6, makoto, absolute sincerity. And the last one, chugi, loyalty, or how do you translate that? Duty and loyalty. These values or these principles guided a samurai's life, and to an extreme as to say, if they failed following the path of the sword, they would rather commit seppuku or suicide by the sword, as well as if they lost a battle but still lived through it. And of course, we are not living in those times, and I'm not saying to do as they did, but what I am saying is we can take some of these values and adapt them to our new era, which is in an devaluated times. We are living in this great oppression of time, of values and principles. And I think we need to recover what is worth recovering. I have always said that, or for a long time, that the best of humankind, the most advanced accomplishment of humanity, has been ethics. But we, as I have mentioned also before, we seem to be losing this great accomplishment. And I'd like to refer to just a couple of phrases, small phrases from the Hagakure. And one says, the Bushido believes that man and universe were made to be similar, both in spirit and in ethics. We must live the present with a clear and strong mind. I love that phrase. I love that phrase in every sense. And then one that is very related to it, that the shogun Yagyu, Yagyu was a teacher of the path of the blade, and he taught the shogun Tokugawa, or one of the phrases that he mentioned to him was, I know not how to be better than the rest. All I know is how to improve myself. Something like that. And I think that's it. That's the key. We have these principles that guide us. We have this similarity between the universe and us. We know that we don't exist independently from anything else, but at the same time, our path is only our path. And I hope I am making sense. I'm trying to take it very slowly and easy so I can explain myself. What I'm trying to say is that these principles and values guided many generations of warriors and a country itself to this day, because although the samurai have disappeared, I believe they still exist in with other names, right? Because they wouldn't be allowed to walk in the streets with a katana and to live the life that they have chosen to live as warriors. But to be able to have those guidelines, to have that sense of vastness and the idea of having death present in every moment, which that would only help us live our lives to the fullest, but in a how can I put it, in a correct way, in a righteous way. It's something we don't hear as much now, is it? It doesn't matter if it's whatever religion or philosophy. I respect all of them, and I respect these messages. This culture of the warrior is blended and is mixed with very profound philosophies and religions, schools of thought, and in the end we have this wonderful Bushido that I try to remember, I try to adapt, I try to live in that way. Yeah, it's a long path, but I only know how to work on myself. I only know how to improve myself, not the world, not anyone else, but just myself. And I try to. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and hope you can comment, share, like, and all that good stuff. I always forget to say, but I really appreciate it. So, hope you have a wonderful week, guys, and see you next time. Professor EDC out.